Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about escape speed or escape velocity. If a stone or any other object is thrown up, we see it fall back to the earth. Can we throw an object with such high initial speeds that it does not fall back to the earth? This is what we are going to discuss in this video. Suppose an object is thrown up with some initial velocity and the object reached at infinity. Okay, far away from the surface of the earth. Let the speed of the object there at infinity be v subscript f. Okay, that is the final speed of the object. Now, let E of infinity represents the total energy of the object at infinity. The total energy of the object will be the sum of its kinetic energy and potential energy, no? Okay, total energy of the object at infinity, that will be equal to its potential energy at infinity and kinetic energy at infinity. Okay. Let W1 represents the gravitational potential energy at infinity. What is its kinetic energy at infinity? Okay, let it represent the gravitational potential energy at infinity. What about the kinetic energy of the object at infinity? Kinetic energy, we have the general expression for kinetic energy, which is half mv square. So here the kinetic energy will be equal to half m into vf square. Okay, where m is the mass of the object and v is the final speed or final velocity or speed at infinity. Okay, so the total energy of the object at infinity, that is E of infinity, can be written as potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is taken as W1 and kinetic energy is half mvf square. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 1. Now, see, if the object was thrown initially with a speed v subscript I from a point at a distance h plus re from the center of the earth, where re is the radius of the earth, h is the height from the surface of the earth, the object is thrown from this point, that is, it is at a distance h plus re from the center of the earth. Then the initial energy of the object can be written as, I am taking the initial energy as E of h plus re, because object is initially at this point, which is h plus re distance away from the center of the earth. Okay, so E of h plus re is equal to initial kinetic energy plus initial potential energy. Now, Vi is the initial velocity of that object or initial speed of that object. So, its initial kinetic energy will be equal to half into m into Vi square. Okay, now what about the initial potential energy? Okay, this is initial kinetic energy, and what about the potential energy? See, in our previous video, while we have discussed about gravitational potential energy, we got an expression for the potential energy at a distance small letter r from the center of the earth as W of r is equal to minus gmem divided by r plus W1. This was actually equation number 7 there. I hope you remember this equation. Otherwise, I will provide the link for that in the description box. If you want, you can watch that. So, here we want the potential energy when the object is at a distance h plus re from the center of the earth. That is when the object is here. So, the potential energy of that object can be written as W of h plus re equal to minus gme. M is the mass of the earth, then m is the mass of that object, r is the distance from the center, not distance from the center of the earth is h plus re or re plus h, then plus w1. Right. So, here we can write the total energy of the total initial energy can be written as initial kinetic energy plus initial potential energy. What is that initial potential energy? This is equal to minus gmem divided by h plus re plus w1. Okay, or we can write it as E of h plus re equal to half m vi square plus minus becomes minus GMEM divided by H plus RE, then plus W1. Okay, I'm taking this as equation number 2. Now, by the principle of conservation of energy, the total energy is conserved. That is, total initial energy will be equal to total, this is the total initial energy and this gives us the total final energy. So, total initial energy will be equal to the total final energy. That is, we can equate the energy of the object at infinity to the energy of the object when it was at H plus RE. So, we are going to equate these two equations 1 and 2. So, we are equating these two equations, that is equation number gives us E of infinity and equation number 1 gives us E of infinity, equation number 2 gives us E of H plus RE. So, we are equating these two equations. Okay, what is E of infinity? That is W1 plus half mvf square equal to E of H plus RE. E of H plus RE is what? Half mvi square minus gmem divided by H plus RE, okay, plus W1. See, this W1 and this W1 can be cancelled, no? Okay, that is if you are taking this plus W1 to this side, that becomes minus W1. So, W1 minus W1. Okay. Next here, see, I am just writing this equation as like this. Okay, I am just writing the right hand side here and left hand side here. That's all. Okay, so here we can write half mvi square minus gmem divided by H plus RE equal to what? Half mvf square. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 3. Now you see the RHS of this equation number 3, that is half mvf square. Half is a positive quantity, m it is the mass of that object, that is also a positive quantity, and vf square, it is a square of vf, no? So that is also, okay, square of a negative value or a positive value, both are positive, no? So vf square, that is also a positive quantity. That means this RHS of mvf square is a positive quantity. So the minimum value possible for this RHS is actually 0. It can't be negative. Okay, so we can write RHS, that is this one, is greater than or equal to 0. That is, we can write half mvi square minus gmem divided by H plus RE is greater than or equal to 0. And I am taking this as equation number 4. Now, see, if I am taking this minus gmem by H plus RE to this side, that becomes plus, no? So, we can write half mvi square, half mvi square is greater than or equal to, I am taking this term to this side. So, that becomes plus gmem divided by H plus RE. Okay, then from this we can write vi square is greater than or equal to, I am taking this half m to this side. So, 2 goes to the numerator, m comes to the denominator. So, this becomes gmem divided by H plus RE into 2 divided by m. Okay, see, vi square can be, this actually implies that vi square can be equal to this or greater than this. So, the minimum value of vi corresponds to the case is when vi square is equal to this. Okay, so we can write vi square, its minimum value is when it is equal to gmem divided by H plus RE into 2 by m. Okay, then see, from this we can write vi minimum. Vi minimum, the minimum velocity, minimum initial velocity, that will be equal to what? Square root of gmem divided by H plus RE into 2 by m. Now you see, this m and this m can be cancelled, no? So we can write vi minimum is equal to square root of GME, okay, into 2, so 2 square root of 2 GME divided by H plus RE. Okay, so we got the minimum value of that initial velocity as square root of 2 GME divided by H plus RE. I am taking this as equation number 5. Okay, where this Vi minimum is the minimum speed required for an object to reach at infinity, that is to escape from the earth. Now, if the object is thrown from the surface of the earth, then this h will be equal to 0 now. When the object is here, then the distance from the center of the earth is only Re. H becomes 0 here. Okay, h is the distance from the surface of the earth. No, when the object is thrown from the surface of the earth, then h equal to 0. So this equation number 5 becomes Vi minimum, the minimum value of velocity, which is of the minimum speed required for an object to reach at infinity. That is Vi minimum is equal to square root of 2 GME divided by H plus Re or Re plus H. Anyway, H is 0 here, so this becomes Re. Okay, now I am just simply multiplying this numerator and denominator with Re. So that this becomes GME divided by Re into Re, that is GME divided by Re square. When we have discussed about acceleration due to gravity G on the surface of the earth, we got an expression as GME divided by Re square. Okay, so this can be replaced by small letter g now. That is Vi minimum is equal to square root of 2 into, this is small letter g and this one is Re. Okay, so we got the Vi minimum as root of 2g Re. I am taking this as equation number 6. If I take g as 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2, and if I am taking the radius of the earth as approximately 6400 kilometer, that is 6400 into 10 raised to 3 meter. Then when we calculate this value, we will get the minimum value of that velocity initial speed as approximately 11.2 meter per second. This is called as escape speed or escape velocity. If you want to find out the escape speed on moon, then just replace this small letter g by the acceleration due to gravity, acceleration due to moon's gravity on its surface, and replace this Re by the radius of the moon. When you calculate the escape speed for the moon, this is actually the escape speed on the earth, but when you calculate escape speed for the moon by putting these values of g on moon and radius of the moon, you will get the escape speed as approximately 2.3 kilometer per second. Okay, see I'm sorry, here I have written meter per second. This is actually kilometer per second. Okay, 11.2 kilometer per second. Alright, now when we calculate the escape speed for the moon, we will get approximately 2.3 kilometer per second. Alright, see the escape speed for the moon is very less than the escape speed for the earth now. Here it is 2.3 km per second and here it is 11.2 km per second. So this is about 5 times smaller than this. This is the reason that moon has no atmosphere, because gas molecules, if formed on the surface of the moon having velocities greater than this 2.3 km per second will escape the gravitational pull of the moon. Okay. So in this video we have discussed about escape speed. I hope you understood this. Thank you.